I was working as an activist at the time in the environmental organisation, and I was really burnt out and quite disillusioned by the work I was doing. I'd been doing it for many years and poured my life into it. And it wasn't just work, it was just life was just, you know, it was in the city, it was busy, I was really exhausted. I just felt like I just had a deep yearning for something else. It just felt like my life was skimming along the surface and I only ever had time to deal with what was right in front of me. And there was always this yearning for something else, for something greater, and I wasn't really sure what that was, but I just started to get a sense that I had to get away from it all, and I didn't quite know what to do. And then I started taking these short courses in Indigenous skills of living on the land and also awareness training, and something just came alive in those courses, and I just felt like it was imperative that I had to do something with these skills. And then the idea of the year in the bush came up, and I just knew as soon as I heard it, I had to do it. And it took 2 years from that idea to then making it happen. And yeah, it was just something I knew I had to do. So what I discovered about myself is that the conditioned self in the city was very hard to transfer to the bush and let everything go. I found it really hard to slow down, and I found myself continually still busying myself. I would make lists of things I had to do, and I found it really hard to put my watch away and not keep looking at the time. Not having a routine was really difficult. And I found that this part of me that felt like I had to have, you know, things ticked off the list at the end of the day, or you know, to be productive, was really hard to drop, really hard to just drop into a sense of there was nothing I had to do. I was my own boss, and that I could drop into the rhythm of the forest. And it took quite a long time and quite a painful process to lose a lot of that conditioning and to actually be able to just be. There were lots of surprises that I certainly didn't see coming. I guess one surprising thing was when I started realising how much the busyness of my life kind of buried a lot of myself, and the distractions of living in the city and the pressures of kind of having a job and a partner and social networks. It really didn't allow for a lot of kind of the emotional body or the feeling self to come out. And so what I discovered was that when I started to kind of exist in the empty rooms of the forest and in the flow of the forest, was the depth of emotion that started to bubble up to the surface. And that included both creativity. So, you know, I started writing poetry again and started kind of, you know, experiencing a lot of joy and freedom. But also there was a lot of grief and anger and memories from the past, and quite kind of strong emotional content that bubbled up when I wasn't busy. And I guess seeing those layers of the self that hadn't had a chance to come up before, that, you know, that had a lid on them in the city, that was quite surprising and sometimes shocking to me. So I guess I was very, yeah, it was quite an interesting process to watch myself kind of unravel in a way, and for the layers to keep coming off over the year.